Hey everybody, welcome to another Trust Launch AMA, and glad that you're here. And for those of you who are listening on replay, we're glad that you took the time out to do that as well. And again, if you're new to Trust Launch is all about bringing together new, exciting projects with trusted dev teams with serious investors, because crypto is such a scammy place. And so trying to do our best to help bring great projects to you. So anyways, today we've got a project called Community Hedge Token, and it's a community-based token. And so I'm going to bring the team on in just a moment. If you're watching on YouTube or on one of the Twitter feeds, then make sure that you come into the Trust Launch portal. That's where you can ask questions if you've got questions for the dev team. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on the team for Community Hedge, and let's bring them all in the room. We've got Zeus, K-Doggy Dog, and the Great Baguette. Guys, gentlemen, great to have all of you here.
Thank you.
Great to be here.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Well, since you guys are leaving cameras off today, then I'll turn my camera off. We'll have a good audio discussion here, and I'll bring up your website in just a moment. But let me just jump. Well, first of all, hey, welcome to Trust Launch. I got a chance to talk with you guys the other day. Of course, we were all on video there, and you've got some exciting plans ahead. So let's go ahead and dive into that. Let me bring up your website as well. So I'll bring this up for us. 1 second. All right. There we go. So, gentlemen, what is Community Hedge Token all about?
So, Community Hedge. So what we've noticed in the space, I mean, there really isn't many trustworthy projects out there, especially in a market at the moment that's so volatile. We thought we'd try and bring a secure asset that's paired to BUSD, actually pegged to the dollar. So that we can benefit from the expanding market when we are in a bull market, but we are also covered from possible corrections in terms of the underlying asset.
And tell us a little bit about you guys in terms of your history. Like, how did you guys come together and meet, and how did this idea for Community Hedge, where did that start from?
Well, so we've all been in the space for probably the last 2 years or so. We've run multiple projects before, and we've just noticed that it's building a long-lasting project is actually it can be quite difficult in this space. So that's what we've came together to do, and also to make the space so much more efficient. So yeah, we're all actually friends, and we're all local to each other. So yeah. So it's probably best we take it in terms of that one.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I've been in this space, like this token space, for about, I'll say 2 years now. But crypto in general since about 2015, 2016. So I've got pretty good like blockchain knowledge, understand it quite a bit. And as the Great Baguette said, we've done a few projects together and just been learning really. But I think we've all just come together now to just try and come up with something that fixes all those issues that we've seen, we've personally had with other tokens we've launched, and just try and improve the space really.
You guys all know each other from outside of crypto, or you met inside crypto?
Yeah, outside of crypto.
We've all known each other from outside.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. I asked that because there's a big difference, crypto friends versus
absolutely
pre-crypto.
there's definitely a big difference.
Yeah,
for sure. We've seen more than a few projects go down in flames because people met within the crypto space and seem to make a good connection. But when money gets involved, then crazy things can happen.
Absolutely.
So the questions I want to ask is, you guys have gone with a community-based token, and so that can mean different things to different people. So why don't you explain for us the concept behind community?
So in terms of a community, we'd say that there's a few underlying points. One, that everyone does work together. Two, that you actually provide a safe space for everyone to come and be a part of. And yeah, so I would say those are probably the main points, but it's more about bringing together people. So I don't know what your thoughts are. I think a lot of community tokens nowadays is more so kind of a little bit like get other people to do the work for us. But definitely in terms of community owned, I mean, it's reflected in our tokenomics, 100% LP burn, safety, security, 1% max wallet again, just benefits the whole community. That no one has too much of an impact on the chart. There was no team tokens at launch, so we never held back any of the supply for ourselves. So again, we're all equals.
So are you guys, since there's no team tokens, then the way that you make money is just like anyone else in the token by investing. Is that correct?
Yeah, so we all actually bought our own tokens when we launched. So we've all not just done the exact same as every other person who's bought into our token, just invested into our own idea, really.
Yeah, well, the main picture for us is that we're not actually looking to make money from the tokens themselves. We're looking from the platform that we're developing at the moment. That's going to be our source of revenue, which will also be distributed amongst the community. But I assume we're going to be going into the utility a little bit later on.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that because, well, first, before I get to that, you guys launched, I'm going to look here, July 26th, I think.
Yes,
July 26th you launched, I think. And let me see where you guys are now. Your price is at, of course, we got lots of zeros involved. 42. You guys are definitely still, you're up a lot. I don't know what percentage.
Someone worked out.
Well, we launched initially. We launched initially at a when obviously we launched at a $5,000 market cap, so we are up, of course, and you can see that we're holding very nice and stable.
Yeah, definitely, especially in this market. You guys have done really well. So let's talk then a little bit about the future plans. Can we get into that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course. Where would you like to start?
Well, you tell us because we're here to understand the project. So, we got that you've got a token. It's a community-based token. So the owners aren't, making money off the token in itself. So obviously at some point, the value's got to be in something in the future, right? That's going to sustain your project. So you guys have some big plans, I know, with that. So yeah, let us know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to talk about utility for a minute?
Yeah, for sure.
Perfect.
Yeah, sure. Well, I can dive into the utility. So at the moment, what we can see in the space is that you have Telegram as your chat function. Then you have, for finding new projects, let's say you have your Coin Sniper or Top 100 token, or Coin Market Cap for a token that's a little bit further down the line. And then you have PancakeSwap to buy them. So with here, you've got 3 different platforms to navigate. Let's say you're a new person coming into the space and you have to get all those components right, whilst also attempting to not be scammed in the whole process. So we thought this space is so incredibly inefficient. Why don't we merge all 3 of these platforms into one? So that's exactly what we're doing. So our site, which we're building at the moment, our swap is actually pretty much complete, which is pretty exciting. So what we're building at the moment is this platform that incorporates all the key components into finding a good project, being able to buy it, and being able to stay updated with it. So again, the emphasis on community there.
Yeah, no, that's exciting. So just so for people who are listening, especially for somebody who's new to crypto, they understand what you just said about how there's all these, there's a lot to learn when you get into crypto. in the fact that, yeah, you got to go buy someplace, you got to have a wallet, then you join some Telegram group to find out what's going on. You guys are creating something that's bringing those three platforms together.
Yeah.
So you're building an app that people can they can find projects, they can trade projects, there's a community function. How will you, let's say, replace Telegram?
See, this is the difficult one. But when you buy into a project, or not even buying into, underneath the project. So let's say if you're familiar with Coin Market Cap or whatever, when you have your social function, you'll have a chat button. You'll be able to chat, and it'll be able to pop up there, which is directly the community there of that token that you wish to buy.
I see. So like you just said, with a coin market cap, and you pull up a token, there's always a chat. People can chat in there. Okay.
Yeah.
And from some timelines on this, because that's a pretty big project, all of those things. Can you guys share a little bit about the timeline of that?
In terms of timeline, we've just had our swap is pretty much ready to go. So that's pretty good. Obviously, I mean, there's an awful lot of back end and front end coding on this type of stuff. And then we're building out the front end of the other side at the moment. So I think I can give it, in terms of the full utility, I reckon within the next 3-4 weeks, I would say the full utility will be released, but we'll probably be releasing our swap prior.
Who do you think is closest to what you guys are creating? I know nobody will be exactly, because you're creating something different, but who would be closest to what you're doing? This will help people have a picture.
You see, the problem is that there actually isn't anything closest to us.
I think that's why we're doing it, because there's that gap in the market, which is so important. So that's kind of the reason why we're doing this, because we can never find anything even really similar, everything in one place that we would need and someone new to crypto would really need.
Mm-hmm. And then for you guys, as the dev team behind this, you guys will make money off of the utility, meaning I'm just taking a guess here on exchange fees and things like that. Is that how you viewed that?
Yes, but so we're mainly probably going to make money out of advertisements on there. In terms of the exchange fees are going to be bought back and burnt into CHT. So it makes it even more hyper-deflationary, and you have the volume coming in from all the other tokens on the platform.
Got it. So other tokens obviously can be traded on your platform. What's the plan, guys, for getting into this space in terms of an exchange? Because that's a crowded space with some big players.
Yeah. Well, in terms of that, so in terms of when we do launch our DEX, obviously our DEX is, well, I mean, it's going to be, you're going to be able to track coins on there. You're going to be able to talk about coins on there as well. So those are two features that others don't have. So that is a USP there. But also on top of this, we're going to be doing a series of launches on there. And we're in contact with lots of different developers that are going to be starting to build off our DEX. So there's going to be a lot of projects coming up on there.
And can we talk a little bit about some of your guys' decisions? You've paired your token with BUSD.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And just explain to people who, again, we have a lot of we have a lot of great investors, but a lot of people are still new to crypto, so they're still learning a lot of things here. So can you explain a little bit what that means and why that's a really good thing that you've done?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, BUSD, what we paired with, is pegged to the US dollar. So in other words, the coin BUSD will always have the value of $1. Whereas most projects now pretty much launch paired with Ethereum and BNB, the large majority anyway. And obviously that's a volatile coin, or both are a volatile coin. So in a bear market where everything pretty much follows Bitcoin, they're going to drop in value when Bitcoin drops in value. And as they're paired as like a token, everyday token is paired with that Ethereum or BNB, they're also going to see that negative impact, and so their token will also decrease in price. Whereas pairing with BUSD, when a bear market inevitably hits, which we're pretty much in, we are not going to see that negative impact or direct negative impact from the drop of Bitcoin, because BUSD will not follow that drop.
Yeah, we just had another project on here on Trust Launch, and they had paired to a stable coin as well. So maybe we're going to start seeing more of this. Do you guys want to run us through the tokenomics? I know you briefly talked about it, but let's just walk through this a little bit slower.
Yeah, no problem at all. So, yeah, did you want to ask specific questions about tokenomics, or?
No, just free question for you guys to explain how you've set this up.
Yeah, no problem at all. So we've got our main tokenomics are, we've got auto LP, which is just quite standard. I think, in my opinion and Tim's opinion, every project should really have it to really stabilize that price. And then obviously our unique tokenomic is the community surplus, which acts as a kind of a marketing wallet up until the utility is released. So it's actually helping fund the utility, because it is very expensive to build something of this kind of caliber. So that will help there. But then once the utility is actually up and running, the community surplus wallet, which is a 2% tax on all volume coming in and out, will be like voted on by the community on where it's spent. So really trying to, again, bring that community together to choose where the majority thinks this money in there will be like best spent. So there'll be a poll on the Telegram where that money can go based off the community decision, really. So that's quite unique, I would say. I don't really recall many projects ever doing that. And we've also got the buyback and burn function. So again, 2% of all the volume coming in and out will be bought back into CHT and burnt, again stabilizing the price. And we've also got a 1% max wallet. So because the amount of tokens we've all been in, where you look at the holders and people are holding 3%, 5%, and it really gives them the ability to completely dump a project, if I'm completely honest with you. So we've got maximum 1% because it can't really do too much damage. And yeah, I'll say those are probably our main features of our tokenomics.
Gotcha. So nobody can hold more than 1%.
Absolutely, at least not in one wallet. If you'll get some people who absolutely love the project and have created a whole new wallet for it, but not in one wallet.
Yeah, for sure. We've definitely seen that. So let me ask you guys a question about the community, because first of all, I think it's awesome when projects bring the community in. There's a lot of really great minds out there that are investing and investors, and they just have a lot of experience with a lot of different projects. We've seen that in our projects where they're just very knowledgeable, and we lean on our community a lot, for their input. At the same time, I've also seen projects that have a community mindset where they do have a bunch of decisions and they let the community vote. And the community that's voting they're not always picking the best decision for the sustainability of the token, because the bias is that they're thinking what's best for them in the short term. And so sometimes having a community vote can tank a project. So I wanted to ask you about that, if you thought about that.
Yes, we have. Obviously, we've thought about that. Well, just in terms of this initial phase of growth, obviously we haven't been putting up polls as to where's best to spend the money, because I'm sure most people will probably be going, get a call,
Right.
and then sell, which is, I mean, what these short-term, I don't even know if you call them traders, short-term gamblers do. So yeah, that's going to be a function on a utility when we're large enough, and this type of stuff that will be voted on, it won't so much be, well, I mean, it's lucrative, but at the end of the day, it's a community wallet. So we're talking when the project's in full flight, when we're large enough decks. So the money could be spent wherever, really, in theory.
Do you guys have a name for your decks?
Yes, CH swap.
CH swap. Okay. Excellent. And you said that's going to be up and running fairly soon.
Yeah,
absolutely. CH Swap is going to be up and running very soon. We think it could.
Oh, I think we lost him there.
Do we lose him? It's always bad when you lose the guy talking. There you are.
Yeah, we should be up and running by the end of the week, hopefully. Obviously, you've got to. It's hard in this space, especially when there's so much back end work going on, to be able to say exactly on this date. It's obviously it's very important to be punctual, but when we have a better idea of when we'll be able to completely release and everything, obviously we'll put a date and a time in there, and we're definitely going to do some very heavy marketing around there.
Yeah, how will you do that? What are some of the ideas you've got for marketing, letting people know about your DEX?
Yeah, so we're looking at going around banners. Obviously, we'll be doing multiple calls, Twitter influencers. We're going to be having some reviews done on the swap itself. So they're mainly, I think it is the normal route to go down with marketing, but we're going to have that as just push a lot of volume into the chart, a lot of new members coming through and seeing there. But also part of our marketing is going to be having a lot of new tokens launched actually off the swap.
So will the when people are on the DEX, it's going to be a separate domain, correct? It won't be on your guys.
Yeah. It's going to be on a separate domain.
And will people using the DEX, will they know that you have a token? Like, how prominent will you make that?
Yes, that's going to be very prominent. That'll be very prominent. So it's going to be everywhere.
Well, nobody can fault you for a lack of ambition. You've got big plans here. You've got a big vision of what you're wanting to create. You know, a lot of projects, you know, their biggest ambition is to create some NFTs. You guys are trying to create something, you know, real world value.
Yeah. Well, I mean, NFTs, well, you can just go on a computer AI generator and churn out 10,000 in, I don't even know, in 10 minutes or so. Like, then that stuff's just worthless. So we're actually, the good thing about us here is that CHT, unlike pretty much any other currency out there, I mean, obviously there are currencies that do have a form of underlying asset, but we're actually giving the intrinsic value here to people, especially with a volume of the swap going in to buy back and burn. People are actually, with us, they're not trading, they're investing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm intrigued by your project. I'm intrigued by your project in terms of one, your vision. You got big plans to do things. Obviously, you are also, you're not rushing things. You're not rushing things. But I wanted to ask a little bit about when you look ahead, some of the biggest challenges that you perceive that you're going to have to overcome. What would they be?
Good question. You see,
I think, in my opinion, I would probably say just building that trust up. So people see a new DEX. Not a lot of people originally are just going to want to go straight into it and launch their token off us or buy tokens from that decentralized exchange. I think one of those first things will be building that trust. And I think that's why it's such a fundamental part of our project, that whole trust thing. So 100% LP burn, showing that we're not going anywhere. It's always going to be tradable, and just really making the extra effort to show that we are a trustworthy project, because I think that is so important when it comes to this.
Yeah, that's that I would probably say that is definitely that's probably the biggest hurdle. But I mean, to combat these type of things, we're doing a KYC and we're getting a contract audit of both the swap and CHT done on Certic, just to give people that extra security.
When are you guys going to be doing your Certic?
So I'm in contact with the guy at the moment, obviously requesting quotes, but that does take a little bit of time.
Yeah, for sure. And CMC listing?
CMC listing. So we've been, I do have, well, some of my friends are quite big into the marketing side of here. So yes, we do have CMC lined up, but we're going to go for the CMC and everything, obviously, once the swap's released, or maybe once the full utility is, because then we're going to really, really ramp things up, bring that volume in. Obviously, CMC is incredibly important for gaining new eyes and exposure.
Obviously I've been in multiple projects, and so a lot of people overemphasize CMC, and a lot of people look for CMC just so they can trade on the pump that it creates. But also, we've been pitched so many times about like CMC and fast tracking CMC, and how, somebody will tell you, oh, I have a contact on the inside. And for the most time, I didn't believe that. Well, and I'm sure a lot of them were lying, but I do have a friend that I trust that then told me, like, yes, he actually does have somebody on the inside of CMC that he pays, and they fast track him. So,
Yeah.
again, I shouldn't be surprised. This is crypto. Like, it's like everything is
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sale.
It's absolutely true.
We do have that. But the main thing with CMC is that when you go through it, obviously they have certain requirements, a certain way you fill stuff out in terms of volume and liquidity, and also in terms of utility as well. That stuff has to be done there. But yeah, you can obviously just have an inside person to go and get you up there for, I don't know, 10K or so. But it's still, I still think it's best to build solid foundations, because a lot of these projects that may, let's say, go to someone and get on through the inside may not actually have the foundations to be able to sustain what they've built.
Yeah, 100%. 100% for sure. So let's talk a little bit about your guys' community in terms of you have a community on Telegram. I don't think you have a Discord community, just Telegram, right?
We actually
We
do.
We
But
actually
don't
have a
use it.
Discord set up.
Yeah,
You
that'll
do.
be coming into play a lot later, but it is already set up.
Gotcha. So you have a Telegram community. It's quite small compared to,
Yeah.
maybe I'm the wrong one, but yeah, let's talk a little bit about your community.
Absolutely. So one cool thing that we did, which comes up, I was going to mention earlier, when we first launched the token, again, we want to bring new people into this space and show them that it's a trustworthy place. Like that's kind of a major part of our idea. So what we did was, when we first launched, we actually marketed to non-crypto communities first, and we did that up until probably 100 investors, 100 holders. And so our community, our Telegram community, a lot of people in there never even had Telegram before. They downloaded it for CHT. And so a lot of the people in there might not be, it wasn't very like overly hyped. It wasn't when moon, all of the normal Telegram stuff that you will see in the everyday project, because again, we're trying to bring this whole new idea into this space, new people in, people that aren't just going to G-Tether 2 times, for example. And then slowly we started marketing to that crypto community. So it's been a slow growth, and I think that's one of the reasons why we're holding so nicely in this bear market.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to blow up your group with huge numbers, but they're not be real. So
Exactly.
definitely.
Yeah. One thing that is also, I haven't actually pointed out yet, one thing that is very nice about our platform that we're building at the moment is that because obviously it's all in one space, we can greatly benefit from just some very basic search engine optimization. So you can type in crypto, whatever, and we can be the first result, or at least be a few down from there. So again, bringing new people into the space as we set off to do from when we first started.
So obviously, as you guys said, trust is going to be a big thing. So, right now, by the way, did you guys publish your white paper yet? I know you were going to do that today, or you did?
Yeah, it was published yesterday. If you go to our Telegram, you can see it in the pinned messages. It's also being added to our website.
Okay, gotcha. Good. So your white paper is published. You're getting your audit with Certic, or at least that's the plan, and the KYC with them. Obviously, that's going to help a lot from a perception, right? Perception is a very big thing in crypto today. Where do you guys see this project a year from now? Let's go to 2023, September 1st. Where would we like to see things? What's happening with Community Hedge?
It's a good question.
Well, what I would like to see from this, I'd like to see we have a high volume, we have a fully functional tradable DEX. Our utility is the go-to place to go. Obviously, we have all that volume coming into CHT. CHT will be a nice reflection of the value of our utility that we built up. I see it as just self-sustaining. Obviously, we'll have back-end people working on that, and we'll still be churning out the marketing just 24/7, of course, as those wallets fill up. So yeah, I mean, I it's like saying where do you see Pancake Swap in a year, right?
True.
Well, hopefully the cake I have staked will be worth a lot. Yeah.
I was having a look at their graph actually recently. I thought, yeah. Anyway,
I like Pancake Swap. I don't like the fees, but I like Pancake Swap. I definitely like the look of it. Maybe I'm like a Mac guy, and it's got kind of a cool look for me. But I know you got to make your trading decisions based more than that. But
you can start using ours soon enough. Don't worry.
well, no, I get
yeah,
your,
you could.
your question.
So your main argument for liking Pancake Swap is you like the cute little rabbits.
Yeah, I love the rabbit for sure, for sure. It's not financial advice. Do your
The
own
rabbits
research,
and the pancakes.
but I like the rabbit. I like the pancake for sure. Nah, they have a sleek D app and stuff like that. But obviously, to your point, how can it's hard for anyone to really know what's happening a year from now in crypto. You know, where will Bitcoin be at? It could be back up to 40 or could be 5. You know, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows, right?
Well,
That's
I
part of
mean,
the excitement of the
most
space.
tokens, let's say, that launch. Sorry.
That's part of the excitement of crypto. Is just to me, it's so volatile it actually makes it interesting.
Yeah, I completely agree.
It's so fast moving. But I mean, like if you were to ask that question to probably 99% of the tokens that launch on BSC, it'd be more like, where do you guys see yourself in 2 weeks? Like, will you still be running?
True. You know, I'm not sure if you've heard this. There was some research done on tokens, and 92% of tokens do not make it a year. They do not make it a year, meaning only 8% make it a year. And that doesn't even mean those 8% are successful, right? Like, okay, they made it a year, but do they make it 2?
Well, to get onto Binance, I think it's 1 in 103,000 tokens.
What was that again? Say that again.
For a token to make it onto Binance, I'm pretty sure it's 1 in 103,000 tokens
That survive.
No, that get onto Binance. The actual platform.
Get onto Binance. Gotcha.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. That's why I think that reflects why it's so important to invest in a base team, especially something that has a liquidity burn. I mean, see a lot of these people saying, "Oh, our liquidity is locked for eternity," and it's like only 6 months. It's like, how on earth am I ever supposed to invest in something like that? I mean, imagine if you had like you were buying your Amazon shares, and it was like, yeah, we've locked the pool for 6 months. So, yeah, with us, we burnt it because it's just a declaration saying, hey, look, we're not going anywhere. We're going to continue working at this project, and we won't stop. We don't believe, like, let's say for devs, they do their 5% liquidity pool ads, then they have their 5% marketing, whatever it is. At the end of the day, that unlocks. The person that always wins is the dev. And so it's really flipping the script here, saying, hey, look, like we burnt it. We've got a real skin in the game. And look, if it doesn't go anywhere, we're not taking your money, right? It's just showing that, I mean, we're based, we're legitimate, and we're actually here. We're here for the ride. We're here for the long term.
Absolutely.
So I really don't think you don't really see any other developers at all. I mean, putting skin in the game like that. I saw a token not that long ago that said, "Hey, look, once we're at 100,000 or something, the dev will burn the liquidity." And it's like, okay, well, once it's at 100,000, then he's paid himself off from the initial money that he put in. So again, it's just like all them trying to cover their back. But I mean, for all three of us, as you can imagine, with the stuff we're having built, I mean, we're all so heavily in the red. But I mean, we believe in the project, and we're going to build a game-changing DEX, right? So for us, it's not. I mean, we don't mind. We don't mind, and I think it's very, very important to have someone there that's, you know, heavily invested themselves.
Did we lose one of you? We lost someone.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Zeus is here, the great baguette. Where'd your third amigo go?
He may have had to he may have had to run off to a meeting.
All right. He had some problems before he got cut out, so maybe that's what happened.
Oh, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about each of your guys' roles in the team. Help us understand just how that works. Because I mean, somebody can have a great idea and they can even have the money behind it, but it's the team that's going to make the difference in terms of longevity, right? And what they're doing. So yeah, tell us a little bit about each of your guys' roles. What's your specialties?
Yeah. Who wants to start?
This is the thing on these AMAs. I mean, we're not sat next to each other, so we can't point to each other and be like, you go.
Well, I'll start for K-Dog because he left. So he's actually our main Twitter person. So he's actually followed by CZ, which is always very useful. So that's why we've had CZ actually like a few of and reply to a few of our tweets, which is quite cool. Not many projects can say that. But he's our main main Twitter lead because he has got a lot of experience in that field. But obviously he is a member of the core 3 people, so all decisions are made as a team. But that's his probably most important role. For myself, I would say because of the amount of experience I personally have in this space, I've got a lot of connections. So mine is more marketing, pushing the project forward, and just connecting the right people, if more than anything, I would say. But yeah, I'll say, yeah, I was about to do the Great Baguettes as well, but he's here. Great Baguette, are you still here?
Sorry about that. I would probably say my main role is mainly utility focused, that type of base, in terms of bringing together these type of components. Also, some side a certain section of the marketing that's more tech based is my responsibility. And yeah, just ensuring the delivery of these different things, and I mean different instructions to different devs. It's just more managing this type of stuff. But obviously, we're all in the Telegram raiding together, talking together, being part of the community.
That's great. I was thinking about your project. I was thinking about some things that you guys are wanting to do, and let me ask you. Let me just go back in time. Since your launch, how did you run your launch?
So, in terms of running the launch, who wants to go?
I was just trying to get clarification. In what way do you mean?
So, did you guys launch on PancakeSwap? Did you do a private launch? White sale. What did you do?
Baguette, do you want to take it or shall I? Well, I mean, yeah. Well, there's not too much to say in terms of our launch. Yeah. I guess I can take it. In terms of our launch, we added liquidity. We had some issues with the contract. It was quite a difficult contract to get drafted up. Obviously, paying to BUSD. I mean, you said you saw a lot of you've seen other tokens pairing to a stable coin, but that's more on the ETH side. That's USDT. I haven't actually been able to find another BUSD paired token out there, or at least one that's done semi well. So yeah, so we paired to BUSD, added liquidity through PancakeSwap, and then we started marketing by mainly word of mouth. Who's going to really hold this token? Just make sure that we're getting real based people in there. So as you can see, I mean, after we launched on the 26th of July, and I mean, we're still holding. We're still holding, right? We're actually we're at a nice little support level at the moment, so can expect some nice stuff coming. So I think that's the main way we went about it. We really did avoid the crypto community because a lot of those people just be happy to see a 2x. So as you can see, how we managed to have that real nice smooth growth up to an eighth. And as you can see, the first dip there on the chart, that's when we started engaging more crypto people, which obviously went there and did a nice little G to the top. But yeah, I mean, we're not too focused on the graph at the moment.
Yeah, a lot of people would like to have your graph, though. I mean, you're almost 9x up above where you started.
Yeah. And we're holding there really nice and real solid. I mean, even you can see we may be going through a period of low volume, but it does just show the way we chose to build our community, really do have diamond hands there.
To be fair, I always say, whenever I invest into a project, I don't invest into the chart. I invest into the team. I invest into the idea, and I think that's what a lot of people are seeing. So I think that's why we're holding so well. One of the reasons, anyway.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic. That's fantastic. Good for you guys. Let me just take this down. Get us back to your site. Awesome. Well, guys, what would you like our community to know that we've not already shared here?
Well, we've shared about the utility. We've shared about our mission statement, why, what we're doing, just a bit about each of the team. But the one thing we'd really like to stress is that at the moment, historically, development teams, they just develop during a bear market, and they really run when the market starts turning. So what I'd like to say is that we're at the moment, we may be in a period of low volume. I would say this is a really good time to buy, and we're really, really going to crank that marketing out once that swap starts.
Mm-hmm.
So
will you guys have advertising on your decks?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That meaning like you will allow people to advertise on your decks. That's what I'm asking.
As long as they've passed certain criteria. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, fantastic.
And obviously it's going to not be overbearing marketing. You know, you don't want it to look like, I don't know, like you're trying to stream films illegally.
That's true. Well, I mean, I'm assuming your marketing is going to be you're only going to be letting tokens market there or other crypto stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's all going to be tokens, but yeah, I mean, as Zeus said, it's going to be going through a vetting process first, of course, and it's going to be aesthetic to the eye. So,
for sure. Excellent.
Yeah, for a second, I mean, it's not going to be like I don't know, single 60-year-olds in your local area.
I mean, that's not a bad idea.
Are you guys having fun? Are you having fun with the project?
Yeah, of course. It's good fun. It's really fun working towards a goal. I mean,
I think also it's nice because I think a lot of people become extremely emotional about price, but as we've said before, the chart is so not important to us right now. The important thing is growing the community and getting them to see our vision, our idea, and getting that idea down and launched. Because once that happens, the chart is going to be a very different story. So we're really not emotional about price. We've got Loom coming in now. So yeah, we're having a great time.
Yeah, that's good. Well, yeah. I'll close by saying, I'll tell you what I like about your project. I mean, I like that you're pulling the community in. I like that you guys have a vision for where you're going, and you are not, as you just said, you're not so focused on the chart, meaning you're not so focused on what everyone is thinking at this point right now. Exactly. Because that obviously can put a lot of pressure on devs to be reactionary, right? Just to make people happy, or to not have them be angry, right? So because people can turn very quickly from happy to not happy when they're losing their money. So I like that you guys are doing that. Definitely in my conversations with you guys, you seem like great guys. I like the fact that you're getting your certic. Obviously that's going to add another layer of trust is what you're going after. So, and you guys you've done really well in a bear market. So again, kudos to you guys. And it's been great to have you on Trust Launch, and we'll continue to follow your project, and we'll have to have you guys back on in a month or so and get a catch up on how things are going.
Absolutely.
That would be great, especially when our utility will be out, so it could be a little bit more practical.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much for having us as well. Like, we really appreciate it. We love being on here, and we'll be more than happy to come back and chat more once we've got the utility launched.
Awesome, for sure. Well, we will definitely be looking forward to that. Hey, if you guys could just hang out backstage for a couple of minutes, and I'll join you there in a moment. And other than that, guys, hey, thanks for being here on Trust Launch.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Brilliant. Thanks, James. Great to see you.
All right, guys. See you later. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that that conversation with the dev team from Community Hedge. Again, they've got some really cool things that they're doing with their project. And so like any project, right? It's you know, you continue to follow, hey, do your own research. You know, this isn't financial advice from our channel. We are just trying to bring you projects that we think have potential and have a dev team that is trustworthy, and we're trying to bring them to you. And so again, they've done really well. You can see how they've got a lot of things coming, and so potentially that could be a fantastic investment. All right, that's going to be it for our AMAs for this week. We'll have more coming up next week. And again, if you are watching this on YouTube or on Twitter, make sure you get to the Trust Launch channel, where we will continue to put out more of these AMAs. All right, everybody, take care and have a fantastic weekend. See ya.